All right, we're recording.
Okay, and so we have to make a note of this also because we're going to start out voting.
Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me start my timer here. Okay, we can go ahead.
So we need to vote that whether David Vivero should raise money now. What do you guys think? Should he?
I think I remember because I kind of already wrote most of my case study up. So I think I agreed that he should raise money now.
That's my vote as well.
I think he's been running too lean.
My reasoning behind it, I don't know if we should start on that yet or wait for Susan, but I have some reasoning.
Yeah, go for it. It says if yes, what money should he use? So let's just talk about it. Why do you think?
I think that he should raise it. I like what Andrew said about he's running too lean, but I also thought that he has this new competitor that's just entered the market in Boston. And I think he can use that money to work on marketing and sales because he hasn't done very much of that. I think if he works with that money to work on marketing and sales, he can destroy his competition before they even enter the market because he just developed the new side of his program. Or he just didn't develop some new, so I can't remember what it was, but he needs to implement that as well. I think if he implements that, markets well, and works with sales, then I think that he won't have to worry about his competition.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think just a big thing for him is that, because he's been running so lean, he really needs to build up, because he's on a subscription basis, he really needs to build up a bigger following or have way more customers. And they've really focused on getting the product perfect. But, we don't talk about that so much in this class, but in launching new ventures, it's not about getting the product perfect. It's about giving customers only what they actually want and need. And then you change the product over time. So I think they've kind of gone about it in the wrong way. And they thought, we need to do product, when it's really more about customer, and the product comes along as you move through as you get customers and you do sales and they give you feedback.
Yeah.
So I think they need to kind of make a pivot right there, and they need to stop and say, hey, we need customers. We don't just need a great product.
So how about we need customers as well as a great product?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the product comes with the customers.
Right.
So as you get customers, you see things that you can change. If you're just trying to make the product perfect without any kind of customer feedback, then you're always going to come out with the wrong product.
Right.
So
take feedback into consideration.
Yeah. So, and kind of like you said too, they need to beat this competitor to market. And they already have more of a name than this competitor does. And so I think their product will probably work better or be more successful.
Yeah.
So it says to read page 7. I tried to raise funds conversion funnel, but I think that's where he said that was his mistake. He screwed up in that area.
Go to that.
So
page 7. Yeah, that was when he was first trying to raise money, I think.
Yeah, and he didn't have any customer data, really.
Yeah.
Page 7.
Well, he was an emotional wreck. I tried to raise funds from Sand Hill Road. Because he hadn't tried it in other markets, but I think these other states. Okay, it said he wanted them to raise it in other cities, but they're online, so that didn't make sense.
Yeah, and he didn't know his customer lifetime value. And he didn't have any reliable data, so he didn't have any sales data at all whatsoever. I think another thing too is I was reading here, kind of like the what I was saying before. I said for the first 6 months we didn't think much about our sales and marketing. We focused on refining the product, which I think that was probably their first mistake. You get your product out there and you take feedback and you make it better and you make it better.
They hadn't proven their product, that's why I couldn't get that. At least that BC to join the.
Yeah, because really their main target market was going to be the landlords. He even said that was their long-term goal. So I think they made a huge mistake there in the beginning. They came out with the wrong product for the wrong people. Okay. All right. Are we ready to?
Yeah. What it says? Why do investors care about customer lifetime value?
Well, I think it's because, like with customer lifetime value, that's going to say how much you're going to make per customer, So if you're losing money per customer, then there's no point to go out and get customers. So, the lower you can get your acquisition cost, the higher your profit's going to be. I think that's where the customer lifetime value and customer acquisition cost kind of goes together. And their sales conversion data, they're doing 2%. So out of 100 customers, they got 2 customers, which isn't horrible. A lot of businesses run that way. But I think the main thing was that they didn't have enough salesmen. If they only have 3 salesmen, so you're calling 200 people a day, you're not going to get very many sales. They gotta up their sales team.
I agree with that.
Or do something to higher their conversion rate.
So, but why do investors care?
Because it talks about their profit, their bottom line.
Right.
Nobody wants to lose money.
They want to make sure that they're
making money on their customers not losing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because no matter how great your business model is if it costs too much to get a customer, then you've got problems. So if their customer lifetime value is negative or it's not very high, they're not going to do very well,
Customer lifetime value and customer acquisition value are very related, aren't they? Because the higher your customer acquisition cost is, the lower your customer lifetime value will be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys want to see my chart that I made for this?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Probably the easiest way to go about. Did you guys figure out how to do this, the customer lifetime acquisition?
No. Should we put that in? Do you think that's going to be a necessity?
The chart?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's the whole point of this assignment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one's all about customer lifetime value and acquisition costs.
So could you email it to us?
Well, no, because this is my work, but you can look at it and replicate it if you'd like.
Okay, so you think that chart, customer lifetime value,
so this is the formula that you're going to use. You're going to use your margin times your retention rate divided by 1 plus a discount rate minus retention.
Margin times retention divided by 1 plus.
1 plus.
And so that's what, with the aid, with the tutor, we came up with that also.
Yeah, that's the formula for it. So yeah, you're definitely gonna need a chart or something like this. Or maybe you don't need it in the chart. You can just type it up, but it's a lot easier just to make a chart of it real quick. And so I just picked a discount rate of like 10%. It could be anything really. So I got full lifetime value at $1,364 per customer, and they're gonna pay back the acquisition cost within a year, 1.68 years.
That's how long it takes them to
pay back the cost of getting the customer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have to keep a customer for at least 1.68 years to break even on that customer, right? So if somebody signs up and then cancels a year later, instead of 1.68 years later, then they're losing money.
Retention rate.
And this is the formula for existing customers, but there's other formulas for like future customers, but those get a lot more complicated.
So in the formula, it's what was your M? What does your M stand for? Sorry.
The margin. So they had a 75% margin.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that.
Times their 0.62 retention rate, and then it goes 1 plus a discount rate, so that would be 110% minus the retention rate of 0.62. And your margin, you're not going to use 75%. You're going to use whatever their. I have this up here. So you'd use whatever like revenue per agent's $88. So I took the revenue. I took that times 0.75, then I annualized it.
Oh, okay.
So just figure out whatever their profit margin per, and everything's got to be broken down per person, right? It can't be, It can't be the total. It has to all be broken down, and it all has to be annualized.
Okay.
So, but it seems to me like their customer acquisition cost is pretty dang high.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I think they could figure out a way to lower that. But once again, like we said, you know, they're probably not doing enough sales effort. Okay.
Of course, as sales and as marketing goes up, that cost will go up as well, but they will in turn have more customers, which will bring down.
Yeah, it'll bring down the cost the higher they go. Well, as long as they figure out ways to bring down cost.
Yeah.
Okay, can I stop sharing this? Has everyone got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll go on to the next question then.
Next question is, what is CLV of a rent use customer? Okay, we just talked about that.
We talked about all that.
Then how well is the sale funnel at Rent Juice working?
Well, I think it's working kind of average for sales companies. You know, I worked for a sales company, and that was kind of their same thing. For every 100 calls, you got two sales. But I think they could probably make it better.
Yeah, I don't really know what to compare this to because I've never done very much with sales. You gotta think about it
in a way of their funnel. You know, they're calling 100 people. They're only getting a hold of 50 people.
Right.
45. They only get 45 people out of 100 calls, which is pretty common. And then they only talk to 21 people who can actually make a decision. So out of the 21 people who they talk to, 2 are subscribing. So if you look at it that way, that's a little bit better odds.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually talk to 21 people. So let's do 2 divided by 21. So they're actually doing 9.5% instead of 2, which isn't horrible. But I think, honestly, because I've done phone sales and I've done door-to-door sales, I think that they need to get out and actually talk to people. I think having just people phone calling, having one junior analyst and maybe a couple senior analysts doing some phone calls, I don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
They've got to find a way to
make more contact.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they're so worried with their product that they're not doing the most important part. You could have the world's greatest product, but it's really about sales. Everything's about sales.
Yeah, you can't do anything with your product until you sell it.
Exactly. And some people even have bad products. They're just really good at selling it.
That's true.
So I think they could do much better. Obviously, you know, and so you look at this model and you think, oh, well, they only have 3 salesmen. So what? Each one gets 2 subscribers every day. Well, if they had like 5,000 salesmen, that would make a difference too, you know, obviously. But then you're still paying $2,000 per customer, or $2,300 per customer.
Right.
So they got to find a way to lower that.
Right, and I said they should put some money into advertising and attracting attention for their web page, and
yeah, I think so too. I think direct sales in this context isn't working well enough for them.
Right. So maybe just a focus on advertisement.
I think so. Yeah, they need to advertise. You know, and I when I did sales, I worked for I just did an internship for an insurance company, and they didn't do any TV advertising, and they were like competitor with Aflac. So it was Aflac and Colonial Life, and I worked for Colonial Life, pretty much the same company, just different companies. And Aflac was so much bigger because they had commercials, you know. So whenever you thought of like disability payments and things like that, voluntary benefits, you thought of Aflac, not Colonial Life. You know, even though Colonial Life had been around longer and they were the first ones to do it, they just didn't have the same kind of market because they didn't advertise on TV. So I think that'll make a big difference for them.
So the last question was, how should Vivero respond to the new competition? And Brent, you answered this at the very beginning on how to keep ahead of the competition.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about just how they could market better and they could sell so that they could just get ahead of the game and take the money from this funding round that they are trying to decide whether to be a part of or not, and use it towards their competition or to combat their competition.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they need to use it to hire more salesmen.
Yep.
And maybe a couple more engineers to get it out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely don't think he's so scared of risk, the guy is. So scared of anything going wrong. It's amazing. You know, I get trying to run lean, I get that. But like you've got to get some money and start growing your product. All he cares about is development.
Yeah.
It kind of actually frustrated me when I read this because it's just like, oh, develop. It's like, no, dude, you need to sell. You're losing money.
So, well, it's kind of a combination. Like it seems like most of the cases are, if they hire some engineers that will get the thing going more. I mean, continue to develop it, but at the same time, hiring the advertising, sales, marketing team to get it rolling.
And it's interesting because I think the cases this week are kind of like conflicting. So Rent Juice is way too slow and Cloudflare is way too fast.
Right.
You know, so it's like Rent Juice, they wanted to have everything perfect before they went out and did things. They wanted to move really systematically and slow. And Cloudflare was like, let's go full-fledged forward and we're just going to do these things. And then people are leaving because they haven't taken the time to grow well enough.
I thought you hadn't read it.
No, I read it. I just wasn't prepared for it.
Okay.
I haven't done all my charts and things I need to do for it. So it's interesting, the kind of conflicting different companies here.
Yeah, it's different ways of going about their products.
Yeah. Although I do kind of side with Cloudflare more than I do with the others.
Rent Juice.
I think Cloudflare's, they're doing a better job. Obviously, their product is a lot more popular. They haven't had to do anything, and it's growing like crazy. But I think growing fast and quick like that is probably a better idea in the long run.
I think that they'll like propel forward faster.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Anyway, so that is the last of the questions that I have on my list.
Well, let's lay out our course of action so I can put down a vote here.
So I guess if I understood correctly, our course of action would be for them, because our initial vote was to
take the money.
So I think they should take the money, and I think they should, like we've talked about, put that towards salesmen.
Yes.
Put that towards getting their product out more quickly, whether that means hiring more engineers, and put that out towards marketing, making sure that they can, I guess, advertising. Because like I liked your example of Aflac and the other one that you worked for. I can't remember.
Colonial Life. Nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then they can compete, and they don't have to run so lean if they have all that, if they raise money.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think, it's time they have, even if they didn't come out with the new product, right? Let's say they didn't even come out with that. They still have a great product, and they've worked really hard on it. And now it just needs to get sold. Mm-hmm. And he's too scared. Vivero is. He needs to stop being so scared.
Yeah.
I'm writing that as one of our course of actions. Stop being so risk averse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it. And then we'll meet tomorrow and talk about the other case.
Do you guys want to go over just the instructions really quick on the other case? I built a spreadsheet for that one a little bit, if you guys wanted to see it to get an idea.
Yeah, I read through the questions before I read the case.
Okay.
But I haven't really started on building anything yet. So
I just built the profit formula. There's that video that was in the pre-class assignment or whatever. And if you want, I can show you my screen.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I haven't watched those videos yet.
And if you follow it, Susan, like step by step, you should be able to build this, because that's what I did. If you guys can see that, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So my green are the ones that we can change, and this is how many subscribers they will need in order to profit $1 million. If you change the conversion rate to 10%, then oops. Then it ups their profit by like $10 million for that many customers. So the video shows you, if you have Excel, Susan, exactly what steps you need to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I built this, but mine never looked like your guys's. So.
Okay, well that seems pretty easy.
Okay, that's all that I've done in preparation, but hopefully that helps a little bit.
Yeah. So I thought I had watched everything, but I don't remember the video about building that. So I will go back and find it.
It's on a little link in there that says profit formula.
Okay. All right. All right. So then we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right. I'll see you. I'll send the link out right now.
Okay, thanks.
For the video.
Thanks.